Hey all, we have more spicy topics this week. Different from last week. This is just spicy in the fact that drone season is about swapping smut fics, swapping erotica, swapping Homestuck erotica with each other. So that is going to be the topic of the episode. So it might get like HBO levels of spicy up in here. So if that's not your thing, feel free to skip or listen and learn about a really fun fix swap that signups start this Sunday as of releasing the episode, not if you're listening to the future. I mean, eventually, maybe one day again, it will be open on Sunday in the future, but unlikely. Anyway, just wanted to give you a warning because I forgot to do that in the actual episode. Thank you to my editor for pointing that out. Okay, bye bye. Enjoy the show. Hello and welcome back to Live Laugh Stuck. I am Jackie, aka Jax, and I am here to talk about drone season. And here to help me talk about it is Bean.
Hi, I am Bean, short for Beanalinis. I use he, him pronouns, and I am the current, head person, head moderator of Drone Season.
Okay, yeah. And do you want to tell me a little bit of what drone season is about?
Sure. It is essentially an annual Homestuck. I think we call it a content swap. It is hosted on Archive of Our Own, but while obviously a lot of that composes fan fiction, it is basically a secret Santa exchange sans the Christmas part for Homestuck art, writing. I think we've had gifts and things like that. Basically theoretically any type of content, but specifically porn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is the name of the game.
Mhm.
Because drone season comes from the Homestuck Alternian concept of the drones coming around to collect your spunk
Exactly.
or puke, depending on which theory you go for.
Yeah. I think I think most people go with the spunk, but, to each their own.
Yeah, I mean, there's some metaphiles out there.
Oh, sure.
So you say, you're the current, kinda head of the project. How long have you been on this project? Give me kind of a background. How did this all start as far as you know?
Sure. I got involved around, I think it was 2018 or so, and I started as a participant. It has been running since 2014.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, oh, yeah, it's been in there, but it was founded by Layla, I think. I've only read it on screens, YLAH, or Cyphercat, and so they founded it. They were and I guess still are, a really, big name in the Homestuck fandom. They, I believe, stepped down, and then it was restarted in 2018 by Lizard Licks and, the Sci-Fi Channel, and I participated that first year. I may have participated an additional year, and then I hopped onto the mod team, and here we are in 2023.
Yeah, that's super exciting. It's, neat because we, I said off the call, but we just did the, Polyswap episode
Oh, yeah.
before, and that'll definitely be out by now. So,
Mhm.
the Sci-Fi Channel is the one who runs that one, so
Mhm.
just making sure all the swaps happen.
Yeah, oh, yeah, they are an incredibly a wonderful person, also an phenomenally hardworking person, so I am very impressed with all of their prowess.
How is running drone season for you? I mean, I imagine it's a lot. It seems like a pretty big event.
It it's interesting because it is a pretty decently large event, especially as these things go. In recent years, we've been getting probably around, 60 to 80-ish signups, which is obviously not, nothing to sneeze at, but previously it had been, upwards of 100, I think, every year.
Hmm.
So it's been interesting as both a participant and a moderator to see it kind of, I wouldn't say dwindle. I think that's maybe a mean word, but it kind of has settled down as Homestuck, is settling into a less current fandom, I guess. But no, I love it. I obviously I love the event. I love the the things that it creates. But no, I am really glad and really proud to be part of this event that was something that I loved, in my formative years as a Homestuck fan, and now can kind of help orchestrate for other people as well, if that answers your question.
What's your experience with the fandom? How long have you been into Homestuck?
Oh, golly. If I'm remembering correctly, I would have gotten involved in 2011, I think is when I started reading it for the first time. And I started reading it, kind of fell off on it, and then got really into it. And so I have been, I would say, an active and consistent Homestuck fan since about 2015 or so.
Okay, yeah. So before the comic ended in 2016, right?
Yes. Yeah, it was
Okay.
like kind of towards the tail end of that year, if I remember correctly.
We have one more big 10-year anniversary
Oh,
coming
God.
up, and then we're done.
That's it. No more.
That's it.
Mhm.
What is your favorite and least favorite part about running drone season?
That is a tough one because there are so many parts of so many flavors.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think my favorite part is well, okay, I'll say a few because I can't choose.
For sure.
I love seeing all the just really incredible things that people have created and just like seeing what people do. So I kind of neglected to explain it. But so basically, how it works with Drone Season is you hop on Archive of Our Own, you write up some prompts for things that you would like to see. So it might be like, oh, this character and that character doing sex with this sort of kink involved, or it might be, this character and that character just doing whatever, I don't care. Or it might be like, oh, I have this really cool AU. I have all this world building planned out. I would love to see something in that setting. So essentially, whatever you want prompt wise, ideally erotic. And then you also write, hey, I'm willing to create content involving these characters. I can do art, I can do writing. Please do not match me with things with these kinks in them. I will happily write these other kinks. And then all of that well, first it goes into AO3's it has like a system to match people. Essentially, it'll say, okay, this person said they'll write John and Dave, and this person wants John and Dave in one of their prompts. So, boom, they are now matched as a pair. But that does not usually work super well. So, we then have to go in by hand and basically hand match everybody, to the best degree possible. And then on prompt release day, you get an email saying, "Hey, here's your secret Santa giftee." Basically, you get all their prompts, you get to see them, you get to pick one to either write for, draw for, whatever, and then that thing that you create gets gifted to the person secretly and anonymously at first, and it's great and it's fun and everybody has a good time. While the matchmaking process is stressful and obnoxious, it is really fun too because you get to kind of put all the puzzle pieces together and say, okay, well, this person doesn't like that character, but this person, da, da, da. So it's a whole big process. We have this massive Excel spreadsheet that we use every year. So that is both my favorite and least favorite part, I guess. Uh, but no, I do. I mean, people have written like I don't know if it's gotten to novel point yet, but it is. We've literally had some novellas written in the space of a month for Drone Season, and that kind of stuff. Just like beautiful art and just like really creative, heartfelt things of all types that people create for no. I mean, for no reason. It's literally just like, hey, there's this person on the other end of the internet who wants something, and I'm going to custom make them a present because I want to. Like, that's a really beautiful thing, even if it is about, like, penises and vaginas.
Or, yeah, tentacles
Yeah.
or any number of things.
Various appendages.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I love it that, people treat it, with writing novellas, it's like, who needs NaNoWriMo when you have drone season?
Literally. Exactly.
I love it because, I'm friends with, LP Sunny Bunny, and
Mm.
so I just, like, I think it was last year that they ended up making a bunch of treats, so just, like,
Mm.
whenever all the authors got revealed, I just got, like, 6 notifications in my inbox because I'm subscribed to her.
Mm.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, and that's another fun part where it's, like, the anonymity and trying to guess who wrote your thing, and, like, my in both how drone season because I also participate in drone season every year, or I try to. Was in both that and Polyswap, I have gotten matched with I pronounce it Osanges, but Oxanges, who is a if you have not checked out their stuff, you should. They are a fucking phenomenal writer. I've gotten matched with them, I think, 6 times, and I have not guessed correctly once.
That is so good. Yeah, the guessing is a really fun part of it. I'm not as fluent in all the writers as I should
Mm,
be,
mhm.
or as I would like to be, I should say. But like people also aren't fluent in my writing, especially because I did the paranoid make an alt AO3 account a couple years ago, and so
Yeah.
now I just have to deal with having two AO3 accounts. So I don't have nearly as much writing on the one I use for drone season. So it's just like, yeah, try to guess me, bitch. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you said, this was, like, way earlier. I think
Uh-huh.
you said, like, preferably erotic. Do people try to submit prompts or fics that don't follow the drone season sort of, like, theme?
Surprisingly, yes. Um, and I don't wanna bitch, and I'm not going to bitch. However, if you have worked in customer service, you know that anytime you are dealing with large volumes of people, there is going to be somebody who, usually just out of, just like an honest mistake, but like didn't read the rules, doesn't really know what they're doing. They're just kind of here, along for the ride.
Yeah.
That aspect of it, I mean, it's 60 to 100 people, all trying to get their stuff in on time and stuff. So there is a lot of, honestly, customer service to it. And stuff like that where it's like there aren't a ton of rules, but there is a format to be followed. There's kind of like a thing that we're all here for.
Mhm.
It can be hard to address because it's some, you know, excited, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed person being like, "Hey, I'd love to see these 2 people hanging out at the beach." And you have to be like, they actually need to be having
Be
sex,
fucking on the beach.
please."
Yes. The beach can be involved.
Exactly.
They can be there.
Right. So yeah, I think it's usually just like, and also like sometimes folks just aren't necessarily that comfortable with erotic content in general yet, and they may not be sure like what's okay to request, da da da. So it's certainly not something where I'm like, ah, fuck you, you dumb
Yeah, for
idiot.
sure.
But no, and so that actually has happened more times than I can necessarily remember, but like enough that we had to be like explicitly, this is for porn. It needs to have porn in it, essentially.
Yeah, that's fair. How does it work? Because you say you participate in, drone season, but you're also part of the matching. How do you manage that?
Yeah. So it is, and that is a perk of being a mod is you have some input into who you're matched with, where you might be able to see, oh, okay, I saw that person's prompts. I have some killer ideas for them. They're right
Mhm.
up my alley, and then you can get matched with them because you are part of making that decision. But it also like on the flip side, it might be, oh man, this person they maybe have like really specific characters. They might have kinks that not a lot of people are comfortable with, and you're gonna have to kind of, or somebody has to be like, all right, well, this isn't gonna fit any other way. I will step up with that. And I do not want to make it out like that's some kind of punishment or anything, but it is, there are benefits and, responsibilities to participating in a thing and kind of matching yourself. If that if that makes sense.
Yeah. How does it stay anonymous the other way of whoever gets matched with, your prompts?
So it can be a little tricky because I well, what's funny is I've had folks get matched with me and not realize that I was one of the mods. So they'll
Yeah.
pop open a mod chat and be like, "Hi, I'm here to, ask Bean some like very confidential questions about his prompts," and I have to just not look. and and like we have ways of handling that. Like we will,
Yeah.
like one of the other mods will be like, "Hey, don't fucking look in there for his hot sec." Um, but they were like, I had answered the chat and they were like, "Hi, I'm here to ask questions for Bean." And I'm like, never heard of him. Bye."
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. I didn't even think about that of, like, looking up who the mods were to make sure I don't think I've had a mod chat open for stuff yet, but, like, I will keep that in mind.
yeah, but no, like because like we also want to be surprised and we want to keep the ethos of it, I guess. So we go to great lengths to keep each other's like presence not like anonymous from each other. So like obviously you'll know who's gifting you, but I try to forget. And I am pleasantly surprised. Um, but I also have a bad memory, so that works out for me. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, in general, like, because when the fills are finished, every like, they are all hand checked by a mod. we make damn sure that the person, does not see their fill, that if we have questions or concerns that we need to reach out to the person about, the mod whose fill it is does not see them. Like, we make sure that it's all very secret in a fun way.
And it is incredibly fun both to be, like, on the other side of someone going, like, because you guys have a Discord
Mhm.
that I'm in, and so you see the people just, like, posting, like, quotes from the fic you wrote going, "Who did this? Oh my god." And you're
Yes.
like, "Hee, hee, hee,
I
hee."
literally, like, I recommended my gifter their own fic at one point. Actually, I think I've
Oh
done
my
that
god.
twice.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh my god, you gotta read this. It's right up your alley." And they're like, "Wow, that's crazy."
Wow, so weird, it's right up my alley. That's so surprising.
Mhm. Yeah, I think I was literally like, it was the Ox, that person who I always get matched with, that and they're a good friend of mine, so it's not like, "Oh god, that person." Yeah. But I was like, "Yeah, this person has this headcanon about, like, Breton amporas, like, oh my god, you're gonna love it." And they played it off very well, and in hindsight, it's like, they're the only fucking person who would write that. But whatever. It's okay.
So, another very important part of this whole swap that I don't think it's talked about as much or thought about as much are the pinch hitters,
Oh, yes.
the secret backbone of the
Mhm.
whole thing. Yeah, do you wanna talk about, pinch hitting a little bit? Like, what is a pinch hitter?
So I actually started out as a pinch hitter.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I know. It's crazy. 'Cause I wanted to participate, but I didn't learn about drone season until after the kind of the signups had closed, and they were like, "Hey, but actually we're still looking for pinch hitters." I was like, "Sweet," and I hopped in. So, basically, a pinch hitter is, I mean, if you know about sports, which not a lot of queers do, um, I don't either. A pinch hitter is somebody, a kind, wonderful, selfless soul who volunteers to essentially create a fill, for somebody and not get anything in return. And this becomes necessary if and this always happens for whatever reason. Somebody's like, "Hey, I know I signed up for this, but like I'm having a family emergency or my work has been so crazy for the past month. I have not had any time to sit down or I have a final that I have to do." And we try to schedule it before college starts just so folks don't have to worry about that. But either way, somebody is like, "Hey, I am so sorry. I'm not going to be able to finish my fill. I need to drop out." And we're like, okay, cool. As long as you do it before the dropout deadline. If not, then we will have to put you on the list of people who dropped out after the dropout deadline. But normally it's fine. At that point, so the person who that person was supposed to gift now is without a gift. So they are like, well, what the heck? Well, they don't know yet. Their prompts, the prompts that were supposed to be filled by the person that get dropped out, get sent to all of the pinch hitters who have their own little channel in the Discord. And we're like, hey, here are these prompts. If even one of them is appealing to you, you pinch hitters, hop on it. And the person will message and say, hey, I'm happy to take this. And essentially, yeah, they just create a fic or an art or something for this person just just cause they wanted to. And they do it all behind the scenes. The person who got dropped out on never has to know about it. And it's really, it's a wonderful and generous act, and also a great way to participate if, like me, you missed the deadline to sign up, but you still want to kind of dip your toe in. Also, the other nice thing is it is completely optional in that you can sign up for a pinch hitter and then just look at all the prompts and go, yeah, no, and just kind of sit in there. Like it is solely voluntary as to who takes a pinch hit, whether a given person takes any, like, it is all up to you. So, yeah, if you wanna if you want the option of participating like that, it is a really good sort of low stakes option.
That's a good point. I hadn't thought about that. I might actually sign up as a pinch hitter. I considered it before,
Mhm.
but I always like I don't know. It just seemed like an added stress of
Right.
like I'm not sure I'm going to be able to, but if I could just look and see like, oh, maybe not,
Mhm.
then yeah, I might actually sign up this year. Depending on how this
Yay.
year goes. It's been a year.
Mhm. I understand.
Yeah, but, yeah, no, talk about not knowing sports. I thought it was pitch hitter because, like, I knew it was, like, a sports thing, like a
Mhm.
baseball thing,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
But I guess so my brain's like, "Baseball, pitch hitter."
Yeah.
No, pinch. There's an
Pinch.
in. I don't even talk to people about this. I read it all the time,
Mhm.
like, in the Discord servers, and just, like, my brain was like, "No, no, it's pitch."
Yeah. No, I understand. Yeah, it's like when we need someone to hit in a pinch, that is what they are, basically.
Yeah, that makes way more sense than whatever sports logic my brain was trying to do.
Yeah.
That's super exciting.
Mhm,
I'm always excited whenever this season rolls around, and
mhm.
really everyone should be, even if they don't know about drone season. It's just like they come on is like, oh, suddenly the all the Homestuck smut tags are just filled up.
Literally.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good stuff. Some of my favorite fics have definitely been made during drone
Oh,
season,
yeah.
and I also like treats as a thing where it's
Mm,
like, "Oh, well, so this isn't the prompt that I got matched with,
mhm.
but I do see the prompt open now, so I'm gonna go right for that because that seems great." It's just a very good creative space to be in general.
Yeah, no, and I like because they are open forever. They are
Mhm.
open till the end of time. So you can go back to the ones in, I guess 2018, because the previous ones are no longer with us, sadly. But yeah, you can go back and see all the prompts and also like I mean, and maybe I shouldn't be saying this because I'm the drone season person, but like it doesn't even have to be a gift. Like you can just use it as inspiration. But obviously the person will
Yeah.
be very happy if you do. But yeah, it's a really lovely way to practice writing for someone else, but a little easier. And I will say also, like, for myself, I've I've been a fanfic writer for a hot second. I don't know that I've written a single fanfic that was not for someone else.
Oh,
Easily,
wow.
yeah, like 90% of my published fics, of which I'm very proud, are almost all through Drone Season and Polyswap. So for me, it is not only a great way to motivate me to write, it is like the way to motivate me to write.
I mean, that makes sense. I've been trying to get myself to write lately, but it has been so hard. But
Mhm.
oh, here's writing with a deadline and not like a
Exactly.
crazy deadline. It's
Mhm.
a deadline that I can like you said, I can back out of it if like stuff
Right.
happens. But it's still a deadline, which my ADHD brain needs.
Yeah, and, like, I'm not always late, but there have been times where I was late because it's the same for me where I have ADHD. I really struggle with that kind of time pressure, especially because we budget for I believe it's always try to make it a full month of just writing time, or creation time, I guess. And for me, it's like, oh sweet, I have a month, and then I write an outline and then forget about it for 3 weeks. but
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
but yeah, no, it is. I would say it is a pretty reasonable amount of time to get some good stuff done, and again, it works great for me.
And speaking of the dates and everything, let me
Mhm.
get my handy dandy notebook.
Oh, yes.
Signups open July 2nd and
Mhm,
close on the 18th.
mhm.
And let me know if I got this wrong. I wrote it down,
Oh,
but
yeah.
you know. And I didn't list all the dates, just kind of the relevant ones for signups and stuff. So July 2nd through the 18th is regular signups. September 2nd is the deadline to sign up as a pinch hitter. So that's a good 2 months extra. And, the collection opens on September 9th, the authors are revealed September 16th, and the treat authors are revealed September 19th.
Yeah, we try to make it, about 2 weeks or so for the signups, then a hot second for us to get our act together and do all of the matching, so that I think, yeah, this year it's another couple weeks or so. But then, yeah, the assignments go out. Then you've got, yeah, about a month to write. Oh, excuse me, it's actually more than that. I am terrible with time. So it's more than that. That's just the month deadline is your deadline to default, so to quit basically. So if you do
Mhm.
it before that deadline, you're fine, no penalty. But if you do it last minute, which again we understand that stuff happens, but like we would appreciate y'all letting us know sooner rather than later so that we can set up a pinch hitter and so on and so forth. Because if we can't get a pinch hitter together, it means that the mods have to bang out a fanfic about God knows what, sometimes literally in the wee hours of the morning, which we have done and we'll do again if we have to. But like, we would prefer to not have to do that if we can help it. But yeah, so, oh, that's that. And then the prompt everything's released, you can see all the fics and the arts and such, and then a week later, the authors of everything are revealed. So there is a full week of anonymous creations for everybody to enjoy, and then after that, it's like, okay, it's y'all can see who did what.
That's such like, that is one of the most exciting weeks.
Mhm.
Just, like, talking about it is just making me relive just how exciting those weeks are, like, on both ends of the spectrum of trying to figure out, like, who I know we talked about this before, but it's just like, yeah, it is a week of me just having to keep a secret even more than I was keeping a secret before.
Yeah, and no, and then, like, the other thing I love about that chunk of time is you get to discover so many lovely works of fiction that you might not have checked out otherwise because, for me, like, I know, the authors that I like and I always want to see their stuff, but if I don't know which is their stuff, I'm just going to look at the stuff that, intrigues me, the ships that I like, and I've come across some really lovely stuff from people that I, maybe had no idea existed or oh my god, I didn't know they drew. That's so crazy. So yeah, it's a very what's the word? Like, I guess a very, like, sort of free for all, kind of, like, unbiased way to enjoy stuff.
Absolutely. And like I said in the Polyswap episode, there's just this if you ever need validation for your writing,
Mhm.
joining one of these swaps is so good. There are a couple people who tend to try to go through and comment on every fic that gets out, or at least that's what I'm remembering from last year. I'm pretty sure, and it is just so nice. Like if you just need like, obviously, we don't write for the validation, but sometimes we write for the
Oh,
validation,
yeah.
and it's just such a good way to get it because there will be at least one person incredibly excited about what they got.
Exactly, and that's where it's like, if you're wanting to write for people but aren't sure how, this is a great way to guarantee that, like, no matter what you produce, no matter what your other person's tastes are, like, they are at least gonna like the premise because they told you what the premise is.
Yeah, absolutely. And then on the other side, it's great for me of sometimes I want to ask people to write fic for me, like, commission them or something, but I just have a hard time putting together how to write a prompt and
Right.
what putting in a prompt is going to get out the other end type stuff. And it's great.
Yeah, no, and that's like that actually sort of reminds me of an important point, which is the line that we try to help people walk as far as prompts not being, and we phrase it like not being a commission, where
Mm,
you are encouraged to be vague or specific. But if it's to the point where you're saying, okay, I want Rose to have this length hair, this color hair, this body type. I want them to do this, that, and the other thing in exactly
oh,
this
yeah.
way. That's not super cool because it may be that your filler really doesn't like, that particular act or body type, whatever. People have preferences. But it's also kind of a dick move because the other thing is like, you might be getting writing, art, music, like you have no idea what the format's going to be. So being like, okay, so this has to happen and that has to happen. It's like, man, I'm drawing one image. I can't fit all that in
Yeah.
there. So yeah, we try to help people, be as specific as they need to be for it to be, comfortable and enjoyable, but also not just fucking going in there and being like, okay, so somebody's going to be making me something for free. I'm going to take full advantage of that. Like, no, you need to allow some room for creativity as well.
Absolutely. And I mean, you should trust the authors, honestly.
Mhm.
They're so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, is there anything else you wanted to add about, drone season?
Oh golly. I mean, I think we covered all the bases, or not maybe all the bases, but no, I mean, I think it's a really fun experience. I think it's a lovely community. It's really nice to see the same people like coming back year after year. It's getting rarer to see swaps like this and really events like this in general, as the internet is becoming a little less friendly to erotic content.
Mhm.
So as a person who enjoys that and also cares about it, like it makes me happy that this is still going strong and has so many people who, really do enjoy it and get something out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good time. Definitely check it out. Do you have anything to promo of your own? Like, we'll have all the links to drone season and everything in the show notes, but do you have, like, a Twitter or anything you wanna promote?
Honestly, not really. I mean, my Tumblr is
No?
just memes. Yeah, I mean, I will happily promote, the drone season Tumblr.
Mm.
We have the Discord server as well, which I highly encourage folks to join because that's kind of where we post the news and stuff for the first time. We do also have a Twitter, but we don't really update it that much.
Yeah. In this day of Elon Musk Twitter.
Oh God, literally, that's a huge chunk of the reason. But yeah, I think that should suffice.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining. Like I said, all the links to drone season and probably the dates are going to be in the show notes. So go check it out, sign up, or if you don't sign up, then enjoy reading. Uh, and with that, I will see you guys in like 2 weeks or whatever. Thank you to Dami for composing the theme song and editing the episode. You can find more of her work at soundcloud.com/dominothief. Shout out to our fakest fan tier supporters, Danny the Spoon Lord and Tezrak. You can become a supporter and receive early episodes and bonus content for as little as $1 a month over at ko-fi.com/jaxyaks, or simply give a one-time tip. For information on and links to my other projects, head over to jaxyaks.com. Thanks again for listening.